Hey everybody, John Granato from Mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. And we got AJ Hoffman from the Blitz. He's on afternoons on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Let's talk about this series, AJ. You get the A's again. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the A's. I would have preferred the White Sox, but I'm okay with the A's in this. When in Oakland, they got their ass handed to them all season long. But here, they won both games. Now you're on a neutral field, so they don't have that home field advantage. And it's not like the A's in years past have dominated. This has been a good series. These are two teams that are pretty good against each other. And I don't think this A's rotation is all that good, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually like this A's matchup more than I would have liked a White Sox matchup because of the starting rotations of the two teams. Chris Bassett is obviously very, very good, and he's pitching as well as anybody in baseball right now. Beyond that, though, the A's get pretty thin. And Jesus Luzardo, you saw him get lit up by the White Sox. Sean Manaea has been kind of a roller coaster ride, a guy that they counted on a lot a couple years ago. So they get pretty thin after that first game, which is it's good news because that's what the Astros do. The Astros are the same way. They're kind of who do we start? This guy. They're kind of piecing together their rotation as well. The other thing I like better than the White Sox series is this A's lineup does not scare me. I mean, they could have a couple guys get hot here and there, but this is a lot of guys with like an under 800 OPS. Their best OPS guy, their best OPS guy would be like fifth on the White Sox. And the other thing that we haven't really talked about, the A's are without their best player. Matt Chapman going down a couple weeks ago. That not only their best hitter, their best defensive player. He's their best player. They're without him. I think this series actually lines up pretty well for the Astros.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the Mike Fiers situation in just a second. But first, what about Boomer Naturals, AJ?
Yeah, Boomer Naturals, obviously, we've got to wear masks wherever we go. You're going to wear one, you might as well wear one that protects you. You could go around with a T-shirt over your face looking like a dope, or you could actually go in with one that's going to help you. And that's what Boomer Naturals does. Highly protective, highly breathable. I know, it hardly works.
It doesn't work.
But, guys, you want to be protected. Nano Silver is doing that for you with these Boomer Natural masks. They've got 3 layers of protection. It's stopping the droplets and particles from getting into your nose and mouth, and, of course, that's what we all want. Go to boomernaturals.com, use promo code Hoffman, and save 20%, or promo code Granato and save 20%. Or if you're in a hurry, go by any CVS right now. They've got the mask there. Just say, hey, I'm looking for that Boomer Naturals mask, and you got it.
There you go. Mike Fiers. He has avoided the Astros like the plague. Now, I don't know if it fell that way or every single time they played. He was the pitcher that pitched right before the Astros got there. Or if they're just trying to avoid. How would it be if Mike Fiers was in Game 5? He has to start Game 5 against the Astros, deciding who goes to the ALCS.
Well, we mentioned after Chris Bassett, it gets kind of thin, so he probably is going to have to start in this game. I don't think it'd be Game 5. I'm sure the A's hope it's not a Game 5. Historically, the Astros have beat up Mike Fiers. Since he left, they've kind of beat him up. I hear a lot of Mike Fiers has avoided the Astros. I mean, a lot of that could be the manager saying, hey, I'd rather not have the Astros hit off this guy who hasn't been very good against him. And if you've got the option to avoid him, you might as well avoid him. I don't think it's avoidable here. Mike Fiers is one of their 4 best starters. They're going to have to throw him out there. That said, this is the worst hitting Astros team in a long time. So if you're going to have to face the Astros again eventually, this may be the series to do it for Mike Fiers. I do think that both parties will be motivated against the other. I think Mike Fiers knows that they're going to be coming after him, and I think the Astros are going to want to get after Mike Fiers. So I think that's just an added piece of drama to this series.
Oh, there's a lot of drama, and there's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of decisions to be made. After watching Dusty in the wild card round, do you have more faith in him managing this series?
I don't know. I still don't like the way he handles pitching. I never have. We're talking going back to like Cubs days.
I know, but I liked everything except Brooks Raley. I mean, I loved that he kept Fromber in there. I loved that he brought Javier in. Okay, I was so fine with Presley. The only move I disagreed with was Brooks Raley because he had to face Nelson Cruz because he was one of those 3 hitters. We've seen Dusty Baker for years, mess up his pitching decisions, but I thought he was pretty solid in that last series.
Yeah, and I think that he realized in a 3-game series he had a little more flexibility. So pulling Greinke after 4 innings or whatever, he probably, that's something he probably won't do in this series. If Greinke's pitching the way he was pitching, I doubt that we'd see him get pulled that early. It just always feels to me like Dusty's either got a really quick hook or he waits way too long. It never feels like he makes these moves at the right time. We'll see how this playoff series goes. I know it's a little bit different because there's no days off, so I'm curious to see how he manages it. But it's certainly going to be something to watch.
Yeah, not an advantage for a team that's as thin as the Astros are pitching wise. That has had a bullpen that has been as disastrous as the Astros have been. If this was all 3-game series, the Astros might win it all. The way that this is set up with 5 straight days and then 7 straight days in the ALCS, boy, it's going to be tough.